Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about everybody's favorite topic, guitar pedals. I am going to do my very best to stay as neutral and as diplomatic as I possibly can, and I hope that doesn't scare you away. But if you're new here, again, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. I've admitted before, and I'm happy to do it again, because I have a little bit of shame, but not that much. I used to be a huge tone chaser. I used to be, a huge fan of buying pedals and trading pedals and which one is for me, and it's so difficult to stay on top of my own obsession with guitar pedals. And if you have had a chance, or if you've been kind of following me on social media, like I've had different pedal board setups and I've had different gear and all that kind of stuff. And again, it was just trying to hone in and trying to dial in, like, okay, what is my personal sound? What is my personal tone? What works best for me? If you're in a situation where you find yourself buying a ton of pedals and you're not really sure what to do with them, and which one is for you, and you're trying to find happiness kind of in a black hole. I used to be that guy. I had to have the latest pedal, and I wanted the big brand name reverb, and I wanted the big brand name delay, and the overdrive, and the volume pedal, and this and that and the other. I mean, it was just a constant revolving door of pedals. And if you talk to my wife, she can tell you how frustrating it is to be seeing that constant change. And she goes, are you ever going to get to a point where you're happy with what you have? And as much of a blow to my ego as a musician and as a worship leader as that was, I was like, you know what, you're right. What's it going to take for me to be happy with the gear that I have? What's going to be enough? This is the sound I've been chasing. This is the sound that I've been wanting for so long, ever since I started playing music, or ever since I started leading worship at my church. Like, this is the sound that I hear. This is what I've been chasing. This is it. This is the best. What's going to be your stopping point? Is it when you have all these big brand name pedals, or is it when you dive in and understand what your current pedal can do, understand what configuration will work for you, what guitar will work for you, all that kind of stuff? But when it comes to pedals, you don't have to have the big names to get this great sound. It's all about what works for you. It doesn't always have to be this constant black hole chasing this sound, chasing this brand. There are two other manufacturers that make a very similar pedal, and they cost half as much, and they can basically produce the same product. So why would you go and spend X amount of dollars here, which is up here, when if you do a little bit of research, you could probably get a pretty good quality pedal for a fraction of the cost. You'll never get that money back, right? You'll always get 80 or 75% of what you actually paid. And I'm not happy because I don't have this, and I'm not happy because I have a pedal board with all these pedals that they can do the job, but I'm not happy because my friend or my cousin or my brother or my relative or my worship leader has this amazing, $10,000 board under their feet. Everyone's situation is different. Do I go analog? Do I go digital? Like, what do I do? And I want you guys to comment below, like, what board do you currently have? What pedals do you have? My big question for you guys, which is something that I had to ask myself, do I know what every pedal can do? If I don't answer yes confidently, and if I don't know what they can do, then I don't deserve a new pedal. But if I can say, you know what, I've put in 48 hours in total, or 36 hours, or 12 hours, but it's not for me, I think that's a different conversation. I think that's a different scenario, because now you can be honest with yourself and say, hey, you know what? I've spent 12 hours or 24 hours, literally gone through every possible setting. I've even switched guitars to maybe try and get a different sound that I wanted. It's not what it needs to be for my worship setting, for my church, for the songs I play. Even if you're not in a church, the songs that you're playing, if it's not right for you, then it's not right for you. But you can't dictate that after a month of just playing it on Sundays. Let's just be real. So if I buy a big brand name over here and I have it for 6 months, and I only play that pedal every Sunday for an hour and a half or 2 hours, however long your service is, on Sundays, and then 1 hour on Thursdays, you're not necessarily diving into the settings. You're setting up your scene, but you're not 100% happy. You just feel uncomfortable. Like you're going through the motions. And that's really what I'm trying to say. You're going through the motions of playing your part on your guitar. You're going through the motions of playing that, worship song or any song, but you're not feeling the song. You're not being able to be fed by the song, because again, you don't feel comfortable with the gear that you have, because you haven't spent that extra time in between Sunday afternoon and let's say, Wednesday night to say, okay, I got practice on Thursday, or let's say you're practice on Saturday. You haven't spent any time in between Sundays and rehearsal to say, okay, I've allotted 3 hours every day or an hour every single day to dive in a little bit deeper. I'm going to create a new scene. I'm going to do all these settings. I'm going to tweak some stuff. I'm going to add some stuff. What is it if I go completely dry to a completely wet setting? What does that mean? I think this can apply to whether you have analog pedals or digital, or you're like me where you've got a little bit of both. Now again, I did a ton of research before I got the Stomp. I thought I wanted the HX effects because I was like, you know what, this thing is so small, like I want to go full digital. I heard great reviews. It's been great. It wasn't for me. And after maybe, I would say a good month and a half, and it literally was 2 hours every day for a month and a half, going through the settings, setting up my sounds, setting up my scenes, my snapshots, and all that stuff. I got the HX effects a month and a half before I was playing at a youth conference in the middle of October. And after the conference was done, I was listening to some audio that my production guy had sent me. He was nice enough to do that. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is not what I wanted at all. And I thought to myself, like, okay, I put in all that time. Why didn't I hear it? I feel okay trading that in for something else. I've spent enough time, but it wasn't for me. Because remember, I didn't have any other pedals on my board. I just had the HX effects. I tried my friend's Stomp and I was like, okay, this is really cool. And then I realized that you can have amp cab simulators and you can have IRs. And so I've been a Stomp guy for a long time and I've really been enjoying it, and it has been awesome. And I really feel like I'm starting to understand the Stomp a little bit better, and I'm understanding how it can affect, based on the guitars that I decide to play or whatever, guitars suit the song or suit the set. I feel like it's the right match for me. It's the right choice for me. But if you don't feel comfortable and confident that, hey, you know what, the pedal you've chosen is the right match for you, maybe dive in a little bit deeper to understand that. But it's kind of hard to understand what your pedal can do if you're constantly swapping and trading and selling and reselling. I'm finally at a place where I'm really happy with the gear that I have. This is the sound that I've been chasing for so many years. But again, I want to challenge you, as always, at the end of every video, I want to challenge you guys. Do you know your pedals? Do you know what they can do for you? If you can't answer yes to that question, dive deeper, understand what your board can do for you before you purchase or before you trade it for something or before you sell it. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, I want to invite you to like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share it with your friends. We'll see you guys next time.